Target bow or hunting bow, you get to decide. PSE Mach 35 DS. This is the bow that's going to suit all your archery needs, especially for you long draw guys. We're going to tell you all about it. Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery in our video studio today to bring you the PSE Mach 35 DS. So this is the latest version in the PSE Mach DS division. Last year we brought you the 30. Earlier this year we brought you the 33. Now we have the 35, Mach 35 DS. So this is their carbon line, PSE's carbon line. Some of the lightest carbon bows that we have out there right now. I think they're the lightest. Lightest I can think of anyway. But super light carbon bows from PSE, made in the USA, right there. One of the only carbon bows, if not the only carbon bow that is made in the USA. So what are we looking at here? As we mentioned, 35 inches axle to axle. And so this is going to be a great choice of a bow for folks who like to do a lot of long range shooting. Western hunters, tack archers. One of the main reasons PSE came out with this though is to get to longer draw lengths. So I've got the EC2 cam on this bow right here, and the draw length range, it's a rotating module, goes from 27 inches up to 32.5 inches. So long draw guys, you guys 31, 32 inches. Here's gonna be a PSE bow that's gonna work for you, carbon bow. Other than that, this bow is pretty much identical to those in, to the Mach 30 and the Mach 33 in terms of the technologies. As I mentioned, we have the EC2 cam. That is a super smooth drawing cam. It's going to have the rotating module to go through your draw lengths. It's also going to have your 3-position draw stop here so that you can shift from 90%, 85, 80% let off. 3 positions in there so you can change that let off to between those 3 options. As we mentioned, all carbon bow, 1-piece design there. Coming down the bow, you are going to have your Picatinny rail on the front for mounting sights. You're going to have multiple holes on the side there if you have a traditional sight. This is a new cable arm that PSE came out with last year, I believe it was, and super rigid. I mean, this thing is rock solid. It's not going to move anywhere. But they do have their own quiver that mounts specifically to this. I still haven't seen one yet to play with it and see how it mounts on there, but they do have a quiver that mounts directly to that arm right there. Then for rests, okay, so you're going to have your standard burger hold there, which we're used to for rests that mount on the side there. Now, what you're going to see here is that I have the Hamskea core plate on there. The bow actually comes with this mount. I've taken it off. This is going to be the mount that goes on the back so that you can use any of the integrate style rests. Any of the rests that say IMS compatible, integrate mounting system compatible. This is what comes with the bow. I took it off, put the Hamskea core plate on there because I'm going to put a Hamskea rest on this bow. But all the options for rests, you got them there. And then coming down, you're going to have 2 positions for front stabilizer mounting. It does come with the dampener. This dampener right here kills vibration for you. And then on the back, this is going to be your mount for stabilizers for a side rod. But one of the things I wanted to do is, PSE lists the weight of this at 3.9 pounds. All right, for a 35-inch bow, that's pretty crazy. So I wanted to weigh this for you on camera here. Now, when PSE does their weights, they take all this stuff off. Well, let's do both Let's do both. So PSE, when they do their weight specs, they're going to take the dampeners off, out of the limbs and off the front here. But we'll do it both ways. We'll see what we get with it on and then what we get with it off. 4-2, 4-1, 4-2. It's gonna 4-2, 4-3. 4-2, 4-3 with all the dampeners on there. Now we'll just take them off, which is what PSE does. That's still pretty crazy for a 35-inch bow, 4.2 pounds. Take that off. Take the limb stops off. All right, so let's get our weight without anything on it. There's 3.9, 38, 39, 39. That's exactly what they said in the specs. 3.9 pounds, so they were right on there. 3.9 pounds for a 35-inch bow. That's crazy. All right, so the speed rating for the Mach 35 DS is going to be up to 330 feet per second. It does have a 7.25-inch brace height. Big brace height, you know, a little bit drop down in speed from the 30 and the 33, but 7.25 inches. That's one of the other reasons that I think this one strikes me as like a tack bow, 35 inches axle to axle. You could certainly shoot this 3D, IBO, ASA, or whatever your local clubs run there. This is gonna be a good bow that you could shoot for target 3D as well as for bow hunting. But I don't know, something about this bow just strikes me as a tack bow. Total Archery Challenge, 35 inches. It looks like a hunting bow, doesn't really look like a target bow to me. So given that, I'm gonna set this bow up. You know, we'll run through our usual process. I'm gonna build this out, and how I'm gonna build this out is as if I was going to a tack event. So kind of like longer stabilizers, but I'm not gonna get into target peep, target sight. It'll still be like kind of the middle of the road between hunting and target. We'll set it up as that. We'll get the cams in time. We will tune it, make sure we do our tuning. We should mention that this does have PSE's Easy 220 system. That's gonna be these little devices right here. What they are is they are spacers in between the cam and the limb here. There's a whole series of them that when you swap them out, you can move that cam left and right in your tuning. And what's cool about it is you don't have to pull the axle on these. You do have to put this into a press to take some of the tension off. Because at full tension, you wouldn't be able to slide that cam left and right. So you're just putting a little bit of pressure in the press, and then you just pop these right out. They're just clip-on spacers. Pop them out, move the cam where you need to, or put your spacer back in and slide the cam left or right in your tuning. It's a real simple system there that PSE came in, and their goal was to make it so you didn't have to remove the axle, so you don't have to do that. So we will tune, we'll shoot through paper until we get a bullet hole. If we have to move some Easy 220s, we'll show you how that's all done. But yeah, I think I'm gonna build this as a Total Archery Challenge style bow. And so, we'll go outside and shoot it at distance, pretend that we're at the tack event. I can't imitate those up and down mountains because I'm in eastern Pennsylvania. It's all flat. But we'll definitely put it through the paces and see what this PSE Mach 35 DS is all about. All right, so we're gonna set up our PSE Mach 35 DS, and remember, I'm thinking along the lines of the ultimate tack bow. All right, there we got her all built up, our Mach 35 DS. Now we'll go out here and we'll shoot through paper till we get a bullet hole, and then we'll do our speed test. Okay, so we're out here with our Mach 35 DS PSE, and we're gonna shoot through paper. See what we get here. All right, so that is a pretty harsh tear, you can see there. I'll shoot another one just to verify, but what I'm seeing is in the shimming that they are mostly neutral, and for whatever reason, for me, I'm sure it's the way I torque the bow, I usually need the cams all the way to the left, and they are more in the middle, I'm gonna say. So let me just shoot another, but I think I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, same thing. All right, so now we're gonna get to see the Easy 220 system in effect. So we'll go back to the press and swap those out. All right, so I got the bow set in the press here. Now, my tear was knock left. So we wanna chase the tear in terms of moving the cam. So I want the cam to go to the left. And this is my Easy 220 kit right here. And I'm going to go just straight for the thinnest one. Now, that 220, Easy 220. So you're gonna have 3 different sets that are all gonna come out. They're gonna add up to a thickness of 0.220, Easy 220, that's what they call it. So, I'm thinking that I have in there the 100 and 120, it looks like. And what I'm gonna go to is I'm gonna go to the 60th on 0.060 on the left and the 0.160 on the right. That's gonna move my cam to the left. And I'll start with that. Before I move the bottom cam, I'll start with it on the top, see what that does, but I might have to do the same to the bottom cam as well. Slid the cam over. Now, like I said, I wanna see what that does before I switch the bottom cams as well, but I might have to do it there. We'll go back out and check. Let's see, we're back here on the range now. Let's see what our spacer move did for our tune. Did not move it all the way over. This is our hole number 3 here. So we are gonna go back and we're gonna move the bottom cams over as well. All right, we're back in the press. Same thing we did to the top, we will do to the bottom. All right, cam is moved to the left. Let's check it out. All right, that didn't do it. All right, so we got, we still have a little bit of knock left. So what I'm gonna do is move my rest to the right. It was set at 13/16, but my friend Tim Gillingham says, paper don't lie, so you do what the paper tells you. So, there we go, got it. Probably still just a hair. See that? It's still just a little bit knock right. We'll fix that. Let's do it again. The good thing is seeing progress. Nothing more frustrating than when you do this and nothing happens. So we know we are headed in the right direction. I'm gonna shift over to this side. There we go. Better, just a little bit more, I think. Micro, one of the good things about this Hamsky rest is that you can make micro adjustments, which is what I'm doing here. Little bit goes a long way. There we go, perfection. So, took a little bit, some using the Easy 220, a little bit of rest movement. Hey, whatever you gotta do, paper don't lie, we got our bullet hole. So, now we'll get out our Garmin chronograph and we'll do our speed test with the Mach 35 DS. All right, now we got our Garmin chronograph set up here. Our bow is set to 30-inch draw weight, or excuse me, 30-inch draw length. I keep saying weight every time. 30-inch draw length. I have a 350 grain arrow. We just gotta see what our poundage is. We want 70 pounds. Those are the specs for the test. All right, there we go, 70.4. Remember, our speed rating was up to 330 feet per second. Let's see what we get. 325.8. Huh, 330 we got on that one. Let's do another one. Something may have been funky with the Garmin because that's 5 feet per second off. We'll shoot again. So these arrows weigh the same. I measured them all, they're all at 350, but I'll shoot the arrow I just shot. All right, we got 325 that time. 325, 330, 325. I'm thinking that's a chronograph issue, but 325. Okay, I got 325s and one 330. I'm thinking 325 is the number there. So about 5 feet per second off the spec rating for speed there with this bow. Now, let's go outside. PSE Mach 35 DS. You know, I put 15-inch front bar, 10-inch side rod on there. To me, this looks like the ultimate tack bow. So we'll find some 3D targets and we'll launch some arrows long distance at it. All right, so here we are outside with our PSE Mach 35 DS. As I mentioned, I built this thinking of it as being like the ultimate tack bow. So we know this is going to be a great choice for you Western hunters. But to me, this just looks like it's a total archery challenge bow. I mean, you could shoot it ASA, IBO, 3D as well. But to me, total archery challenge. So we recreated what we would envision as a tack shot here. I've got a deer down there, 70 yards. It's kind of downhill. I'm up here on this platform, mini tree stand. So we're gonna see, but before we get to that, hey, take a look at this color combo. Come on, look at this. This is clay brown color riser with the olive limbs there, but is that matching or what? Comment below if you think I did this on purpose or if it just happened by accident. Also comment below if you think you shoot better if you color coordinate with your bow. All right, here we go, 70 yards. Downhill through the deer. You can see too, we got a pretty good wind. So, is that gonna affect? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I think I'm a little bit low. Yes, a little bit low. Same spot. Let's do a little sight adjustment here. I believe they're like touching. They're not touching, but they're right next to each other. Just sighted this in this morning. I'm going right where I'm aiming. Just gotta get my sight right. Straight in the guts. That was a horrible, horrible shot by me. In case you didn't notice. Now we got the wind. Well, while I'm waiting for this wind to die, let's talk a little bit about this. So 35-inch axle to axle bow. I can definitely feel, you know, this is holding like a target bow. It's a big bow. 7.25 or 7.5 inch, 7.25 inch brace height. So it's got a big brace height. EC2 cam, you know, I love the draw cycle of the EC2 with that big brace height. It's just drawing back super smooth. We're at 70 pounds. It's drawing really nice. But yeah, like I said, you know, this thing is holding well. I'm just not shooting very well, but it's going right where I want it to. Woo. Big gust. Ooh, that's a good one there. If I had this bow, I'm gonna say that I would use it primarily for like 3D, that kind of thing. You know, comparing it to the Mach 30 and the 33, this bow definitely feels bigger. It feels like a big bow. Of course, you know, this goes out to 32.5 inch draw length, so in the Mach 30 whatever DS line for PSE, if you're 31 inches and above, this is your only option. So let's see now. Come on, get this deer. Low again. There we go. Dead deer. Only took me a couple shots to get it, but that is a dead deer, dead center there. But yeah, you know, Mach 35 DS intended more for your long draw, but this is going to be a great bow. I think, you know, total archery challenge, man, I could have a blast with this thing, shooting long distance, get a little more proficient with it. Hopefully I can do that on my first shot. But smooth draw cycle. There's no real high points, I'll say, in the draw force curve. It just comes back nice and smooth. And carbon, you know, this thing's super light. You saw it, we weighed it yesterday, 3.9 pounds. It came in right at that. And so, you know, with some stabilizers, this is a big bow, but this definitely feels lighter than like aluminum bows that I've shot that were 35 inches. Even with all the stabilizers, this would be a nice bow to carry around all day. Here comes another big gust. But let's go down there and check out these shots, especially the last one. All right, here we go. So we got shot number 1, number 2, number 3. Bad shot by me. Number 4 and number 5 right here. Where's my man Scott Parrott from the ASA? That got the connector. That is a lower 12. You ASA fans out there, leave a comment below. Check that out. Definitely cut the line. So anyway, hey, you can see there's no holes in this target. These are the first shots. I took it at 70 yards, downhill, in the wind. You know, the bow can shoot. This was the shot that once I got my sight figured out, this was the shot that felt good and went where it was supposed to. But you know, as I mentioned, 35-inch axle to axle bow, the Mach 35 DS. Just awesome shooting bow. I never mentioned, you know, like we discussed with the other Mach DS bows, the Mach 30 and the Mach 33, this one also has what PSE calls their full draw stability. It's a system, we've talked about it before, where it increases the dynamic brace height. Now I want to make clear, PSE bows are not the only ones that do that, but there are others that where the brace height, when you come to full draw, the dynamic brace height actually shrinks. PSE's gets bigger. And so what they say that does is it helps with your stability at full draw. A windy day like this, is that gonna matter? I don't know. But I know normally when I'm shooting these bows, they just feel like I can't torque them. And I torque, I have a tendency to torque. So that is the PSE Mach 35 DS, the big bow for you long draw archers. You folks have been waiting for this one. Here it is, 35-inch axle to axle, draw length out to 32.5. If you want to see the different options, like I mentioned, this one is clay brown and green olive, they call that. Kind of a cool color combo, I think. If you want to see the different options, weights, colors, etc., be sure to click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.